Hey everybody, Adam Savage in my cave.
And Norm here in Adam's cave as well. And in front of us,
Yes.
a fleet.
What's that?
Fleet.
The fleet. Yes, you're right. I love the ships of the Star Wars universe. We live in this age now where there's tons of science fiction movies and tons of spaceships moving around. And one of my issues with a lot of spaceships is they look super highly detailed to the degree that I can't quite parse their overall shapes. And one of the things that Doug Chiang and all the designers in the Star Wars universe do so well is iconic outlines, iconic silhouettes.
Can a 5-year-old draw it? The X-Wing, the U-Wing,
Yes!
Y-Wing, yes.
So we have 2 Razor Crests here, and us pair of adult children are going to slowly start to refine these to be... I think we both feel like these are excellent canvases on which to just play in the spaceship realm. So
when Hasbro designed this, they designed it to be a playset. So like we showed the panels come off, the whole top comes off, the whole side panel
all this
off.
modularity.
Exactly.
Access.
But we want to add more.
Yes, these nacelles come off, and while they have magnificent detailing all around, I see some clear orange parts that are begging for lighting.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to do. This isn't going to get finished today. It's not going to get finished in the next video. What this is the beginning of a set of videos of us slowly modifying our Razor Crests until we feel like we're happy with them.
And that includes painting, it's going to include installations, as other people who have this in the world start doing maybe some 3D modeling and 3D printed replacement parts. Let us know if you know people are doing those type of kits. We want to get involved.
Yeah, like when I was building the D'Agostini Millennium Falcon, there were all sorts of add-on kits that kept on showing up while I was building it for doing lighting and doing all sorts of floor detailing and extra little places. I'm sure that's going to start to happen with these.
Yeah. But what we're starting with, I think, is some disassembly.
Yes. Funnily enough, after we released our video, a wonderful YouTuber, I can't remember their name, actually figured out how to get these nacelles apart, and it is super non-trivial. The nacelle is screwed together this way and then capped with these like capture caps. So there's like a knob with a lip, and then the engine cowling goes over that and is captured. And it's tight enough that like I was doing all sorts of force and I didn't want to break anything, but I really appreciate that YouTuber for showing us the inside, because it gave me some ideas about how to maybe a little more easily separate these nacelles so that we can get some lighting and detailing going on in them.
All right, so we have 2 workbenches.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of break them into their natural components and then go a little bit further to turn this canvas into like a deconstructed Razor Crest.
Yeah. The first thing I'm going to do with the nacelles is I'm going to just start running this one under hot water. Okay. I want to soften up. What I saw in the video is that there's a lip and then there's these fins that come up to the lip. And I just want to soften those up with warm water. And I think that'll make it a little easier to pop these guys off.
All right.
Yeah. All right, let's start a little bit of dismantling, I think, to begin with.
We'll go full Jawa.
Yeah, yes, totally. All right, we got that. We got these guys.
I love that they put structural detail on the inside of the connecting parts, the blue parts, where you're never supposed to see them.
I know.
Right?
I know, and like, they're really understanding that if you're gonna pull this apart, they're giving you some more narrative. It's really lovely. Okay, there's that. The roof. In one of the videos, this removable roof is a fantastic piece. I would like to put integral lighting into this. Not today, but at some point, because I can put batteries and lights in this and it's still a removable piece. I think that's awesome. Okay, there's that. Yeah. That guy. Oh yeah, this whole side panel. This one. Oh, the gun. Yeah.
Are you noticing like screws?
What's that?
Are you noticing like screws?
Yeah,
places where we can mechanically take it apart?
Yes. It's still pretty hard to find screws though. They've done a unfortunately good job of hiding them. Come on. There we go. I think that is all of the nacelles, right. So it's not critical to pull these screws out, but I'm going to because I definitely want to end up painting these interiors. They're all the same size, I believe, so that makes it really easy. I'll get a couple of Phillips. I gotta say, take a look at these screws close up. They're Phillips screws, but I believe that HasLab chose these screws because they don't look like Phillips screws from a distance. I think that's a really neat choice that they made. I appreciate that attention to detail.
Pop off.
Yeah, it just pops right off and then the other thing lifts right out.
There.
Okay. One of the things that happens is as you try and pry, you dent the edges of this, but it's the Razor Crest. It's dented and it's scratched, so that's a nice little bit that we don't have to worry too much about. But so again, the structure here is that there are two halves, and they are held. They're actually screwed together, but those screws are all hidden under these two caps that are clipped on with a lot of force. So I'm going to put them under water, hot water, to try and make them a little lazier, make them a little easier to move. Here we go. I know there's not a lot of room back here. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's no electronics in here, so there's no worries about getting water in here. But once I start getting water in here, I have to get these apart because I can't have them leaking water all over. Let's see here. All right, so yeah. Now, when you're doing this and you're running hot water over a thing, it's actually like cooking, right? Because it's temperature management. You just want to be imagining where stuff is at and like when has the temperature gotten all the way through the thing? Because this water here is probably about 110, 112 degrees. When the plastic gets heated up to that temperature, that'll be as soft as I'll be able to get this. I mean, I guess I could heat up a tea kettle and get it hotter, but I don't want to melt this stuff. I'm just trying to relax it a little bit. I'm coming at it from both ends, kind of letting this drift down and then getting in there. If you end up with a plastic part that's slightly warped, long time soak in warm water is actually a great way to, again, relax it so that you could potentially bend it back into the form you need. I use a heat gun and warm water all the time when I'm working with resin and styrene. All right, I'm almost there, I think. All right.
It could be a way to put that immersion circulator, that sous vide device to use.
All right, so let's see here. I already feel like it's moving more than it was the other day.
Oh yeah, wow.
Right? So,
and that's a clip, right?
It is a clip. There's a clip underneath there.
Which we're not too worried about necessarily
Oh
damaging.
God, no, I'm actually, the moment I get that clip to release, I'm cutting it out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like not letting it be part of the equation. The guy did say in the YouTube video that it was a real pain in the ass to get it off. Come on. Let go. I just thought a well-timed smack might work, but it didn't.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
Oh. Well, let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
Where was it really even?
That's the release right there to there.
This.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. This was what you're softening.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, and same thing. He said this. It actually sheared. This is so well held here that it sheared there, which is fine. I'm putting this all back together. I'm definitely never using the clips again. I'm going to either use magnets or hidden screws to hold this on for the future. But look at that. Look at that. That's fantastic. I can do some real detailing on that. Again, HasLab using all the same size screws. Dudes, you are menches.
Shake, shake, shake.
Almost there?
We'll see. these.
So I believe, that the back comes off faster than the front, without a doubt.
I'm trying to see where your seam was.
Yeah, it's right there. Right there. So go ahead and you start to torque this and you'll see it moving. Wow! That's the back one.
That's the back one.
The back one's
Oh my
the easy
gosh.
one. The front one's a pain in the ass. Here, let me
Yeah, I
let me
see
work
that.
on the front one for you. Do you want to go start to warm up another one?
Yep.
Okay.
Warm up.
Right. So the paint tends to stick this thing together. That's one of the things. All right, here we go. And we're just gonna, come on. That was almost it. That was part of it. There we go. Got it. Norm, I did it. There's a little damage. Oh my God.
It's like we're cracking lobster shells.
Right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yep. There we go. That's the second one. That's the bad one. Jesus. All right. And then this one should be the easy side.
Maybe it needs a little more steaming.
It could be.
Even the easy one can just...
I know. Come on, baby. That's so... I'm sad that two of them came out easy and two of them didn't.
I wonder if they were the same side.
It was. Oh, interesting.
Like right and left.
Right. Which one do you have? Yeah, it is the same side. This is
maybe
this is the left side.
And maybe that's a little
So
more
the left
difficult.
side might be more difficult
Yeah.
than the right side to undo.
It wants to come off. It wants to.
It really does. I know. Your real danger at this moment is jamming the screwdriver into yourself. So I'm really trying to be cautious. And you can see I'm like tearing apart the whole cowling here. And oh my God, this is crazy. Somewhere in a factory, there's someone who's like, yeah, I designed that part.
High-fiving.
Exactly. I was hoping we'd be done within the first hour, and it looks like we will be done with disassembly on these in the first hour. So I'm pleased with that. Norm and I weren't sure that this was going to take like 2 hours, however long. When you're taking apart stuff like this, you can be rest assured that if they can make one tool to make two parts, they will, because making everything a mirror of each other means double the amount of tooling, and tooling's expensive. Did you get it?
No.
Oh.
Did you find the clamp helpful?
No. Here, let me give it a shot here for you. And we may end up with a little bit of destruction.
No, it's okay.
Full disclosure. All right, so, yeah.
Oh, it is just really get it in there and pry. Wow.
Yeah. I'm an old hand at it now. I mean, just to give you some idea here, these are the 4 tabs holding on at the bottom of this lip. And they held on so strong, they sheared these 4 screw bosses rather than releasing.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is what I was going to get. So what you want to do is you want to get this in there and just torque each of these back.
And that hole.
And then this piece comes off. And then once you pull that off, these 4 screws, when you get that off, those 4 screws allow that thing to separate.
Right.
But I'm not using
We're not,
these.
no, we're done. We're never going
Those
to
can
clip
go
the
away.
others. First try.
You can't over-label your stuff, L. Those 4 screws are out? Oh, right, that's not. But these are, so that is R. And, look at that! R. Oh, it's even labeled on the inside, R! Sorry, I don't mean to yell, but I'm kind of excited about that. R. There's that, and then... And these are also R. Oh, they're labeled R and R. Oh, this is great. Those live there. And that is the one piece, so that's good. Now I need to get that. A three. Three. Und. Ah. Oh.
This last part just doesn't want to come out.
Oh wow, yeah. We'll be able to repair all that and get that back down. But I found this one too to be a freaking nightmare.
I don't care about the damage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ready? That's better than prying, right? I'm just trying to. Oh, that didn't work. It's like, did you snap the screwdriver? Oh man, yeah. A heat gun will be a key part of the repair of this thing. Ah! Norm, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Same thing happened on mine.
Sheared, yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's when I'm just going to come in here and...
Yep. At this point, we just want it out.
Oh my God! It's just... I'm quite sure that the HasLab guys are going to reach out and be like, oh, there was this one place you could place the screwdriver, boom, the whole thing pops off.
Ah, wow.
Here you go.
Mazel tov.
Woo. I'm going to get
Thank
some
you.
paper towels and clean up a little bit. Oh, wow. This is great. This is great. This is helping me figure out what I want to cut away and what I want to play with. For instance, I want to be able to see engine lights behind these fins. And in order to do that, yeah, I'm going to need to be able to run a little bit of probably translucent acrylic back behind here with a gel on it. So that helps me there. On the back side, again, it's like I'm just going to cut away all of this in order to be able to witness, yeah, that. Okay, so those guys. One of the things I did when I thought I was getting close was I zeroed out the crossfeed on my DRO so that I knew when I hit the same depth. I've got about 1/8 of an inch to go to machine this little pocket that will hold our super thin silicone lights. The reason I'm stopping so frequently is to keep the ABS plastic of the toy from overheating. If it gets overheated, it's gonna solidify and grip this, and this whole thing will fly off, and we don't want that. So I'll show you what I'm actually doing here. What I'm hoping to achieve, if I can, is a little bit of a, okay. Copy that. All right. What I'm hoping to achieve, I got light coming out here, no problem. I want a little light coming out here. And I'm greedy about it. So I'm machining a little pocket in here to receive a lighting element. But what I can see, ooh, wait a second. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. I really like how low profile that is. It's almost not visible, but if I carve these down, each of these, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be very subtle, the difference between what is and what will be, but deep in here, I'm going to let just a little bit of light escape. It's going to be really, really subtle, but it'll give us this great extra bit of lighting drama in there.
Plastic melted. There it goes.
Beauty. Your nacelles are carved out.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think orange.
Orange, so we have basically a warm white and a red are the two color options.
Oh.
Warm white.
Yeah, let's do, wow. No, it should be red.
Red.
Yeah.
Red for the outside.
Red will be a tiny little kick around that perimeter and make this look really great.
And the inside orange.
Yeah.
Or
the inside will be
orange.
naturally orange, yeah.
Finally caught up to the reassembly-ish process where we caught Adam when we got back from lunch. So I've now also hogged out both ends of the nacelles.
I need a little bit of standing off there to make that work later. I'm just adding some washers to the reassembly because we're putting this back. I'm putting this back together in a different way than it went together. I pulled out some of the screw bosses and other things that held this together. Oh, that's not the right washer. And I'm adding washers. So similar to here where I'm using some sheet metal screws and washers to hold it all together, I'm doing the same with this part. Great, great.
Goodness.
Getting very excited about all this. So now, lights, camera. Let's try that. So I'm trying a hot source here rather than a ring of lights.
Okay.
Because I'm curious. I know what a ring of lights is probably going to look like, but I feel like if I get a hot source on this, I might get something even more interesting. I don't know. These are replacement LEDs for auto. Yeah, so that's 4 volts, right?
You have tinting already.
Right. I get tinting out of this. Actually, let me get this. Get that like that so I can hold it.
What do these want to operate at?
Probably 12 because I think they're car headlight replacements.
Oh wow, so they can go real bright.
They should. Let's see here. I mean,
That's 4.
That's 12.
Okay. A little bit of distance. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
that's the other thing is that there could be, I think we want to play around with some diffusers
Yeah.
to kind of spread that light around.
Let's show like as you press it against the orange but pull it back, it changes
Yes.
the look completely.
And like, I think that we might, I mean, even that's really
That's
kind
pretty
of
good,
interesting.
right in the center. Yeah.
Actually, that's amazing, especially with a Ring of Lights extra.
The
Then
red.
we got a nice hot spot, and it doesn't look like just like Lego bricks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So a hot spot right there, and then red around the outside that's peeking through these.
Well, the red will peek through, but no, a second, a
second ring.
third.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So
Oh, so
I'm
you
gonna,
gotta-
yeah, okay. I like that. I like how that works. I'm gonna Scotch tape that in. I think that's kind of great. I mean, because we may even want to. Oh, that is the center of the thing. Definitely, we're gonna want to paint some of that detail on the orange in order to create some more interesting light stuff. I mean, John, what I heard was that there's like endless numbers of rings 3D printed for the real ones.
Yeah. Practical layering.
Yeah. So I pick these up all the time when I can find them because these burn fairly cool even at 12 volts.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And it's like, and I really like LEDs. Boy, they made them incredibly lovely dimmable, I'm even thinking, no, that's too big. These guys are Millennium Falcon lights. That's what is across the walls of the Millennium Falcon hallways. So I'm, right. Let me go grab this and see if I can. Yeah, hallway, wait. There it is. That's it. These.
Oh my gosh. Adam's pulled that out of his memory. He looked at the top of the Mando's cockpit and pulling from the upgrade archive bin. It is basically the same size.
So what we can do is we can drill that out, make a plug of like a diffusion, like some laser cut acrylic,
And just put
and
this
then
on
just
top of
glue
that,
that right
right
to
on
the
top.
top of it.
Yeah.
And then it'll look absolutely awesome.
Yeah, paint this first and yeah.
Yeah. And I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we don't need that many, and I've got plenty. So that's awesome. Why you don't throw anything out? Great. So, these are actually solderable no matter how thin I cut them. That's great. So I can just do a sample here and like pop it around the perimeter. Because that's really what I want to do, just that.
Oh, okay. I see.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got way too long.
This is the original rapid prototyping.
Exactly. Okay. Whoa. What happened? Something touched something. And I blew a fuse. Oh, wait. Nope, I didn't. I accidentally unplugged it.
Oh, from a certain angle. The ring reads. Off axis. Here, let me hold it up so you can see.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep your finger between the two clip leads.
Yep.
And then hold that one in the center.
All right, so first of all, you can see.
Okay, I can see that we still want a little bit of more diffuse. Hold on to that for just a sec.
And it's one COB LED strip on the inner recess here.
It's almost like I want like a cellophane wrapper stuffed in there, kind of thing of like. No, that's not going to do it. It's got to be like
clear.
sort of a translucent
Yeah.
cellophane.
How about that bag right there?
There you go. That's it. You're well done. We thought the same thing at the same second. Yeah, the thing I've noticed is that the ring, I can see the ring and I feel like I understand the ring structure.
Okay.
So I want to eliminate that. And I think if we buy some specular cellophane, like for wrapping,
Okay.
which is really, really light, and we stuff it in there, that'll
Just around the
diffuse it enough to make it look like kind of a regular.
Kind of diffract it a little bit almost.
And then when we hit some of this with black, it's going to look really great. The other thing I'm thinking about is painting the whole thing black and then scraping away.
So when you said liquid masking, that's what I was thinking. It would be because you're masking and then maybe putting a coat of black on top.
Yes, and I've just never used liquid masking, so I'm a little nervous about it. But like this, yeah, especially when we get the little red around the perimeter there, that's going to be amazing. I think this one day build is going to extend to a second day, just so we got to get that red in there and see it, man. I feel like that. I just got to say, like, I feel like the HasLab folks thought about this. Just a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I know they didn't make it easy to take the damn thing apart.
I go back to rewind.
Oh my God.
It's like,
The culture of how this attaches together might be something that HasLab folks had nothing to do with.
But I think I take your point was that could have been opaque. And the fact that it is a clear tinted piece gives us a lot to work with and makes our life a lot easier at this point.
Yeah, and you know, like we've said repeatedly throughout, like looking at HasLab stuff, it feels like it's holding collectors in a nice embrace, you know? I really like the hot center spot. I think it's vastly better than just that.
Yeah, what do you think about mounting options for that?
You know, this is easy. I could just take a tube and stick this in the tube and it fits over that thing.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, that's brilliant.
Trivial.
So because it sticks out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean this thing just like parks in here. Yeah, it's the problem is like to do the final lighting, you got to do all the painting and all the other stuff. But like this is a fantastic proof of concept of how much really cool drama we can get out of these engines. So I've got a little bit of flexible rubber here, and I was just gonna try and get it to sit on. Dude, there you go.
It isolates. Oh wow! And the orange of that, because this is a cool light and it makes it real nice and warm.
Yeah, I'm really digging that. I feel like that's great. I like the way it does that. And then
how do you think that's going to combine?
Oh, let's do it. We can combine it now.
So curious.
Okay, so I got it. Yeah,
yep.
There we go.
Such a simple, clever way of fitting in.
Yeah, I know.
A light.
That's like a special effects solution. Okay, so you got those.
Yep.
Let's get that one.
And these are 5 volts.
Oh,
right.
Are these 5?
I think COB. If this is your USB one.
Oh, shame.
It will say on the COB. I believe it is 5 volts. Yep.
Okay.
5 volts.
So I need a second power supply. Thanks for catching that. That's 5 volts.
I love that you're pulling 2 old ILM power supplies.
Yes.
To light a 12 volt and a 5 volt LED.
This is how we did it, man. Okay, that's 5 volts. Dude,
You get the ring.
yeah, I think that's really nifty. I think I may try and throw some cotton batting in there, or maybe even try a little paint on this thing. You can let go.
Yeah.
To try a little paint on this thing to darken up some of it, but that looks really nice.
It really is the hot shape.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you can see the ring, the outer ring. The orange just makes all the color really great. Very happy with that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that looks terrific. Okay.
All right.
That is a pair of solutions for these. Then we need a light back here.
Yep. This will be the front of the engine.
That's a
separate. Yeah.
This will be, I think maybe we'll take like a spray can cap and put some lights behind it so we get a little bit of...
Because you have built-in diffusion already.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that, and then we'll figure out how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to get this. We can start to install these rings. I'm going to give you some...
I'm going to cut the COB to length and create some leads so I have my wires there, and we're going to cut some of this tubing that you have.
Yeah, some of
also
that stuff. And then I'm going to take some copper metallic tape to hold the COB down.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's... the wire torquage on it can give it some
separate
problems.
the 3 out.
Yeah, exactly.
The adhesive.
So, yeah.
All right, I'm going to start soldering those.
right. These I can turn that off and turn that off. Put these down. Great. When I have to hold something down that needs a little bit of real mechanical strength to hold it down, so this is what I have to do here. I'm trying to hold down both sides of this little chip-on board strip so that when I attach the wiring to it, I'm not always pulling it out. I'm going to use this copper tape here. There we go. To put in, and it's going over the wire, connecting up to the inside, and then coming up the inside there. And the reason I like the metallic tape for that is because unlike normal tape, it's metal, so you can really mold it to the surface it's going to, and that makes it mechanically a lot more robust. I really, really dig metallic tape for that kind of hold down gription when you need it. I'm going to do most of my wiring with lugs because I just want to get it across the board, you know? Oh, you know what, Norm?
Yep.
I'm going to end up putting leads on all these lights for us.
Okay.
Because I can just take care of that right now.
Great.
There we go. Oh. Hey, that's the hot. Confirmed. Always check everything. Confirmed. Great. So that's a known quantity. I can turn on my soldering iron. As soon as you know you need like a certain light bulb times 4 or 8 or 12, solder them all up. Makes your life a lot easier. There we go. Let's see here. That and that. Good. Ooh, that's bright.
And double checking this one. Yes, 5 volts.
1. I count all the time when I'm doing this. 2. I always say things like 3 goes to 3 and 4 goes to 4. I find lots of mistakes that way. Normal heat shrink, I think, is like a 3-to-1 shrinkage. This is supposedly more, like 4-to-1. And it just keeps us insulated. Yeah, that's good.
It's great. Is there create a little cut in it, slit in it to have it wrap around, right?
Yeah, you should have one already with a slit in it. I think it gave you one of the ones I built, or I mean I tested on. One of them should have a little slit in it.
Neither do. Yeah, that's fine. I'll get a
Oh yeah, scissors. Here you go.
Go.
And I figure we use a little electrical tape to hold it onto the
light.
Yeah, it doesn't need anything too special.
You want to keep this pressured fit, or do you want to hit a little bit of CA in there?
I think so. That's what I was thinking about, wrapping just a little bit of electrical tape around the base of it, and then pressure fitting it, and then that should hold for a while.
Okay.
And then later on, I think we could use some like silicone glue or something like that to hold it on.
So both ends will have electrical tape.
I think actually the back end here is just a. Oh yeah, I guess it could use a little bit of. Oh, I had the one with the business on it. There we go. So I put a little, here's what I did. I put this in here with just a pressure. Oh, I just actually, I just broke my lamp. All right, I have to rebuild that one.
I'll borrow that.
These are delicate, more delicate than I realized.
Yep. So have that. This hole cut in it. Pressure fit this first on here, and then wrap the electrical tape around the base. Yes.
Excellent.
Always be testing.
I know. ABT.
And I'll do one here just because I want to see the effect.
I know, brother. All right, so that's hot. I have to solder this COB. Okay, so we do this to that, and that to there. Talking to yourself is a vital part of making, man. It is really.
And this is a step down?
That's a step down from 12 to 5. It's not going to end up, I have it here right now. I think ultimately it's going to end up living in the, yeah, I need to find a place where the power distribution can go so that these things can have some removable plugs here that they go to. And there's space, right? Like I don't need that thing. Mm-hmm. That doesn't matter. I can still
plugs
get,
in, yeah, because you have these, it's really those two plugs.
So this is the post. Once we work out the lighting solutions, working out how power gets to them is the next phase. But that's just like again distributing it. It may be that under here is where the step downs go, and then they drift out. Jeez. Yeah, I know. There's all sorts of like engineering you have to do just to keep all that stuff going. All right.
Yes, lugs just for power now. Yeah. Oh, so you have all connected.
So right, I'm just doing this.
We're doing
so
a test.
Yeah.
We just want to see the lights.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll be able to hold on to it. Here, pick it up. Let's see here. This should be, if I did everything correctly. Doop. Is that it?
That is it.
Oh, it's great looking. Also, even from the side, you can see that there's more than one color of light, and that's really nice. I do think maybe throwing some cotton batting in there. Mm-hmm. I gave you some cotton batting.
Let me get it.
Go grab. Oh. Go grab. Why am I yelling? Who cares? This is about, excuse me, about trying to get a little more fill in this light here. So I'm just going to try doing some of that. And, oh, that does help. Yeah, okay.
You can move it around a little bit.
Yeah, so it's very funny what ends up being the thing that acts as your proper diffuser. That's better
Just
than that
bit.
dark spot that was in the middle, you know? Plus it quiets that ring a little bit and gives a little more diffusion, a little less, like the more you can see what you're seeing, the less interesting it is. But once you do that, you kind of spread it out a little bit. With a little bit of dark paint on the details on the orange, it'll look really nice. All right, let's get some strain relief in here.
I also noticed you were using copper tape.
Yes. What's great about the copper tape is you can solder right to it if you need to. I've used it as like a bus bar, but I like it for holding stuff down because it conforms to what you're sticking it to. And
a little bit of rigidity.
Yeah, a little bit, and it's not working itself away.
Okay.
You know, you put tape down and sometimes it's stretched and it'll pull itself up and the copper does not. Yeah, and I mean, I'm still working out I use the lugs because they give me freedom to change my mind later. This little 12 to 5 step down it'll probably live inside here. There's some space underneath here.
That means all the 12 volts have to go to that though.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe it's going to live inside of one of these, but even then I need plugs that go between. I have to figure it out. Oh, hey, I figured something else out. And it's this. Yeah, you'll like this. Okay, we can let go
and
of
this
that.
This is 12?
This is 12, and these are 12.
Okay.
So this is a 12 volt little bulb. We're going to use these to light up the orange.
Oh, just on the bottom.
The orange landing light.
Is that 12 volt one just because that's what you have on hand, or?
Yeah, I keep these little. Here. I've got two of these.
Because they have the built-in resistor.
Yeah, this is you just put 12 volts to it. It's pre-wired, so it's really straightforward.
Yeah, it's the built-in right there.
Yeah, and we'll be able to add dimming to these later if we want to.
Oh, that's nice. Glow.
I figure we have an entire day of painting, Norm, of just masking off and doing the interior panels. These guys.
Oh, those. And also these.
And those.
Yeah.
And I think these end up getting glued together.
Oh, the two pieces.
Yeah.
The two halves.
I think those two halves, because they connect perfectly, and
There's no reason why that's...
they don't have to be separate for assembly.
Yeah. It's so funny. When we did our first painting pass, all we saw was this exposed, but there's so much more. And by taking it apart, you're going to get all the... And that's where we even talked about potentially where you could do some lighting.
I thought about it. I don't think it actually works, and here's the reason why. When this thing goes in here...
It's so tight?
It's so tight that if you do lighting back there, you're going to see it. And that's going to drive me crazy, especially the angle that it gets viewed at is like this. So you're kind of regularly looking down into that. But I also think that we can take some solder, some actual just silver solder, and run some extra leads of like electrical conduit across the top of this and just make it really sing.
Okay.
They've really done a good job on this kit, the HasLab folks, of making this making everything only fit together one way. Thank God.
And labeled too, the R and the R and the...
Yeah, it's really great that they did that. So now I want to paint these so that they're light tight, which means I want to paint them black on the back. I forgot to tell you to take off these guys. They're just 2 catches, one on either side to remove them, but you have to wait till the black paint dries. Okay. The reason is, and this is actually kind of interesting, do you notice that this looks a little crisper than this?
Yes.
And the reason is specifically because this is ever so slightly translucent, and that makes its edges visually a little bit blurry.
Softer, yeah.
So I hit it with gray on the front and black on the back. That makes it light tight, but also a lot more interesting visually.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
And that's just because
that translucency,
the resin or the injection molded plastic they use.
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating? I love that little thing. So here is, you can see that this looks a little bit softer than this.
And normally you would not want that kind of hard edge. Like they're getting free gradient by using a more translucent plastic in their injection molded.
But when we do the light behind there, that crispness will make it really sell in terms of scale. Yeah. And then we'll also get to do like a really specific custom paint job on these to make them look, to burn around the edges. Once we get to painting, all this is the difficult, busy work. The painting is going to be the most fun. Already it looks better. Just even that one monochromatic gray makes that look way better. So now I got to figure out how to get light into the backside of that diffuser. So, yeah, come here, Norm, take a look.
Is this your landing lights? Oh no, the front. Oh, down.
What's that?
Are you shooting into it or?
No.
Oh no, straight. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So hang on.
So you're creating some distance.
Yeah, I think that's the key, and I don't know that I need to get up closer in there, but I'm also thinking that...
A little gel?
Yeah, and what I could do is just try a couple of colors here.
Wow, you see the way it's casting light along the edge there?
Yeah, no, and I think that, we want this to be like a red, like a very red. That's too red.
Yep.
But what if I did that with orange? No, it's still too red, right? That doesn't look like fire. Yeah. That looks...
Yeah.
Trying to do too much at once. All right, let's do this. Hey, there we go. That's pretty great. Norm?
What's the color theory?
It is 3 different gels. It's 2 bent over, doubled, and then an orange on top. I can get 4 gels out of this. So if you hold that.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and it reads real well along the outside.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's
Especially when that's matte and not shiny. When we do that scoop and we give it a little bit of like some burn marks. So yeah, we're basically going to be making 4 little gels here.
yeah, and the distance really helps too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Great.
How are those going to be suspended? Because
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's really almost just like a little, you just need a little bit here and they just sit there. You know what I mean? Like a little, it's just that. But it's just mostly just going to sit right there. So, yeah, there we go.
a little stand.
A little bit of acrylic, a little bit of
Oh, just a little standee.
Yeah.
Acrylic stand.
like 1/4 inch acrylic and we'll glue it in with CA.
Okay.
Or actually, frickin' Delrin will work great, to be fair. Yeah.
And Delrin's soft enough that you can press fit and you have a little bit of give.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's actually, yeah. So,
Oh, shrink wrap around it.
yeah,
Right?
a little bit, you're right. Shrink wrap would probably be perfect there. And just sitting there, facing forward.
So when we originally, you only had these 2 pieces of diffusion, you could make a lot of that just by putting it toward the light as opposed to...
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Your tolerances for this diffuser was so good that adding a coat of paint, there it goes, makes it a very, very tight fit.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. That one's good.
Actually,
But now I'm soldering while talking, which means it's highly likely I'm going to wire one of these backwards. Three und
there goes.
4. All right, let's try that. See if I got this right. I like that it's not perfectly uniform all the way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit of the white leaking
Yeah.
through. A little bit of dab of CA.
Yeah, little.
later.
That's exactly right. So we'll just do it. Here we go.
One of the lessons I'm learning here is that distance, whether it's distance from the tubing or the distance from how far you're putting for this light with the standoff, the light
Yeah.
helps a lot in addition to the diffusion.
Yes, it's absolutely true. Like when you're playing around with lighting, yeah, it's a whole thing to get right about those relationships. I think we are almost ready for a test. My goodness, is that really possible? Okay, good. Hey Norm,
Yep.
I need your help for a
Yep.
sec.
Yep.
I just want you to hold these two. Yep, that's it. That's all I want. I'm just gonna
Are
hold
we
this.
gonna see some lights?
We're gonna see lights very soon.
Feed it 12 volts.
I'm feeding it all 12. Yep. There we go.
Got 1, 2, 3.
And 4.
4.
And here comes this guy. And dude, we got lights on this. We got lights on this puppy. Oh yeah. I mean, look, we'll end up doing some dimming, I think. But I really dig how that looks.
Yeah, a little bit of seamage. Oh, just the translucency.
Yeah, see?
yeah,
You can see
yeah.
right through it. So hit the inside of that with black,
yeah.
or with a gray and just make that light leak because you can see that. But I'm really pleased with how that looks. And I think once we get to dim that a little bit, it'll be really good looking.
That, I love
Yeah, the way it shows
the
up.
fins. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not even, you never even see that in the real thing.
I do like how uneven it is.
How what?
Uneven that orange is.
Yeah, no, I know. It's nice. It actually, it helps sell it a little
Emberish.
bit that it moves and changes to your, and
Yeah.
you know, the other thing we can do is we can go in and do like a airbrush around the edge of the diffusion to create a little bit of, you know, a little bit of drop off.
And that's a nice little hot light right here.
Yeah, I know. I think it looks great. And there's like another one under here somewhere, or another pair of them down there. The thing I love about this process is how improvisational it is. Once you get I mean, it is a great time to be able to buy like pre-wired LEDs. It's all in regular, 12 volts, 6 volts, 3 volts. But I love this process of figuring out how to get the look you want, to play around with a bunch of different things. And then now that we've got it, it's just, this is another couple of hours of work to do all 4 nacelles.
It's all the same principles and 4 lights, different looks.
Yeah.
They do different things, each of them.
On this engine, the engine on the back here, I can see we're gonna have to do some painting for the light leakage.
Yeah.
But again, that's a painting problem. But now that I'm seeing this with lights in it, once we have that, once we start to detail in here, and I really do think like adding some solder across this will add so much dimension. It's just gonna be really thrilling. Then once we have that, then we're gonna be having, like I have my 12 volt to 5 volt step down in here, but that's gonna need to live somewhere else so that this thing can plug together. That'll be another bit of engineering is figuring out how the nacelles come out and how they go back in and plug together. So it may be that there's 2 plugs in each one 12, one, and I think some of the little tiny things that I've got here, I think these are 3 volts.
Yeah, they are.
So we're gonna need a whole separate system for those.
This is the beginning of a long-running, long-term project, and it's already so much fun.
It is. I think that by the next time we shoot a video for this, we'll have our 4 nacelles assembled and lit up. I want to work on the cockpit.
Okay.
And I'd love to see if we can actually even pull the cockpit and work on it outside and then put it back in. That's one day build. I can see we can spend a whole day just painting the exposed engine panel parts. That's really great.
Inside here.
The lighting on the underside of this guy is a whole nother thing. It's got some nice little lights that I really like for that. Then there's interior painting. Again, so just something I'd like to call out again is there's multiple modalities of paint here. And I appreciate that while this isn't very interesting, they really have tried to do a 2-color pass on this for weathering, but also to make this look substantively different than the other weathered parts. And that's an attention to detail that's really lovely. Oh man. Yes, this is gonna be a long process. I'm having so much fun on this. Yeah, we gotta put a little window in there.
Yep.
Yeah. That's another one.
Whew. All right.
Dude,
it continues.
That was a really fun excursion. Oh, I love making my toys better.
This is the way.
It's totally the way.